What's up, guys? Happy Monday and welcome back to News for You with me, Tracy. Now, on today's agenda, we're going to be talking about what Museveni has to say about the chaos that ensued during the NRM primaries. We're also going to be getting into Astronomer, the whole Coldplay situation. What is the update? We're also going to be talking about how Mamdani has fired back at the haters. All of that and so much more coming up tonight. Stay tuned. President Museveni has strongly condemned all the bribery, violence, and vote tampering that took place during the NRM primaries on July 17th. In a letter that he posted to Twitter on Sunday, he praised over 9 million voters who turned up, but warned that those involved in chaos and election fraud will be prosecuted and punished. President Museveni emphasized that the primaries are meant to reflect honest village-level democracy, with the people knowing who they want, and cited problem areas in Tungamu, Kapchorwa, Karenga, and Mityana, where violence and intimidation were reported. In the letter, President Museveni also mentioned that he has adopted the new title, Semalungu, alongside another title, his long-term title, which is Sabalwani, which is basically like a chief fighter. He said he's meant to help educate the young generation, the Bazukulu. So this was the first time President Museveni has actually officially used these two names in a public statement. So yeah, you guys let me know what you think about this in the comments.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
So remember the kiss cam moment at a Coldplay concert that caught a married CEO canoodling his also married head of HR? Well, the situation obviously blew up online, and since then the company has put them both on leave while they conduct an internal investigation. But the CEO ended up resigning from his role, and the co-founder was now named the new interim CEO. Basically, the company is emphasizing its commitment to strong leadership standards as well as professionalism, noting that the previous CEO's actions failed to meet those expectations. So they said, bye-bye. You see, guys, literally doing extramarital affairs can make you lose your job. So, big guy did. Zohran Mamdani, the Democratic nominee for New York City mayor, has announced that he'll be taking a little private trip to Uganda to celebrate his marriage with family and friends. Now, he's born in Kampala and was also raised here, partly before moving to South Africa and then to the US. Mamdani holds dual citizenship, which he embraces as integral to his identity. Now, he also clapped back in a video that he posted on Instagram where he announced the trip, and also he responded to the xenophobic attacks that he's been getting from the social media trolls, telling him to go back to Africa. And he said, I hear you and I agree, I'm going back to Uganda. But he added, I do want to apologize to the haters because I will be coming back. He said, I'm going home, but I will be back. He also mocked how the New York Post might portray his trip, but take a look at what he said.
Being a politician means listening, not just to your supporters, but your critics too. And some of these critics, especially on a certain website, have been giving me consistent advice. For example, @SamWhite087. Zohran, go back to Uganda, where you come from and belong. @TeflonGone. Loser, go back to Africa.
Anyway, for one, us Ugandans were happy to have him back home. Prince Al-Walid, also known as the Sleeping Prince of Saudi Arabia, has unfortunately passed away at the age of 36. He had been in a coma for 2 decades, and this was because while training at a military camp in London, he got into a really bad car accident at just the age of 15, where he got severe brain injuries, and he was put in a coma. At some point, the doctors told the family that they should pull the life support, and they said absolutely not. They celebrated each birthday, each milestone, and it looked like there were some promising signs, but unfortunately he did succumb to the brain injury and he has passed away. It's really sad, and obviously our hearts go out to all of those affected. May his soul rest in peace.
Hey yo, good people, what we do is your boy Bash here again with another episode of the Sports Updates on News for You. So as you all know, the Rugby Africa Cup has been going on in Uganda at Mandela National Stadium, Nambole. But this Saturday, we came to a conclusion of the tournament, and we already have our champion. But before we get to there, so we are the hosts, Uganda. Yeah, we started off this tournament with the loss, went to our next game with another loss. Now we had one chance like this. TJ, if you're given one chance to redeem yourself, what would you do? So we were given a chance to either win that game or get relegated. We played Cote d'Ivoire in a game that went well. That kept many of us wondering, okay, was the team not so prepared in the past two games that we lost terribly, or what? Yes, we beat Cote d'Ivoire, we beat them, we scored good points. I mean, it was 37-17. Yes, 37-17. For me, I felt like my man of the match was Alex Aturinda. But hey, the match officials said otherwise. Ian Miani was the man of the match, which he performed absolutely well. Don't get me wrong, but Ian Miani is a good guy. Alex Aturinda was my guy. So our neighbors, they played Algeria. Guess what? They lost. You know the neighbors I'm talking about. Our neighbors, Kenya. So they lost to Algeria. Nigeria got 15 and they had 5. Yeah, I was happy, of course. They beat us. I mean, they beat us in the quarters. What are we supposed to do? Good for them. Then we had the big final, Namibia up against Zimbabwe. So Namibia is a team that is just from the recently concluded World Cup. But they brought in a lot of experience, a lot of quality rugby. Everyone who watched the final could really tell that we watched beautiful rugby, beautiful sport. But yeah, hey man, Zimbabwe came up on top. I mean, beating Namibia 30-28, a close game. If there was more time in this particular final, trust me, Zimbabwe was going to stay behind and wait for the repecharge. But guess what? They managed the game very well in the last minute of play. I mean, you could see a team that is willing to make amends of all the mistakes they made. Of course, there were a couple of handling errors. Trust me, most of the guys that were on the sidelines had more malaria than the players actually themselves on the pitch. But hey, Zimbabwe are the finals, made the finals and are the champions. Of course, they booked a ticket to the World Cup 2027 in Australia. They'll be playing the big boys. Yeah, the big boys. The groups are not out yet, but they'll be playing the big boys. For Namibia, they still have a repechage game coming up this weekend, playing against UAE. After the repechage game, they still have a couple of games as well. So wish them all the best. Wish many African countries in the World Cup. So yeah, see you on to the next one, guys. Bye.
And that's a wrap for today, guys. As always, please do leave a comment down below. Share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one.